All right, so to begin today's unit, we are going to cover what sustainable resources are, a little bit of square footage, and we're going to introduce the communication aspect you guys are going to create for your tiny house project. You guys are learning about sustainable resources in science right now, right?
Yeah.
Who can tell me the definition of a sustainable resource? Josh.
Sustainable resource is something that helps the environment and it saves something like a hand sensor sink would save water. That would be a sustainable resource.
Okay, so y'all should have been covering this for the past week. What sustainable resources have you decided that's going to go with your tiny house? And give me one of them right now and one of the reasons why you picked this. Yes.
I would choose a compost toilet because it saves water.
Okay, so we have the compost toilet, saving water. What else? What other resources can we do? Yes.
We could do LED lights to conserve energy.
Perfect. LED lights. What can we do to produce that energy? Yes.
Solar panels or, oh yeah, solar panels.
Solar panels? All right. Does anybody else have a different alternative to solar panels?
Hydroelectricity.
Hydroelectricity. Where would you put that on your tiny house?
You could have it inside, like if you're growing plants maybe, you could grow plants on the wall. And since the water would be falling down off of the wall into something, it could start energy. But it saves water and
So if we had hydroelectricity or solar panels or both on our tiny house, what would that be considered in our living circumstances? Have you guys talked about off-grid living? So we're not having electricity coming, you're producing your own electricity and your own power for that. So if you have your own electricity, what are some items in your kitchen that you can use to go off of those solar panels? Yeah.
the oven.
The oven. So if I was going to try to cut back on electricity, I would probably have a 3/4 refrigerator instead of a full-size refrigerator. It just depends on how much equipment you're going to be having in your tiny house. So in math, you've also calculated the square footage. And the square footage of a tiny house, or how you calculate square footage, is the height times the length, right? So the highest your tiny house can be is what? Anybody? So roughly about 14 feet high. That gives us a distance to be able to stand straight up, and then we can put a loft in up above for a bedroom if we choose to. So you're creating your tiny house, and you have to give me the top 5 resources that you would use in your design qualities for this piece. How we're going to replicate this as a graphic designer, or a way to visually communicate this, is we are going to create an Adobe Spark page. On that page, I'm going to teach you the design qualities and how to put the information, which is the written and verbal. So the written part is you're describing every single of the 5 resources on your webpage. The verbal comes in from your English class, and the visual from this class is going to be the pictures that you're going to take. And those pictures are going to be created from a separate website called Homestyler, where you can digitally create your blueprints to match your square footage and your designs of how your house is going to be built. And you can do the 3D model build, which is an AutoCAD section, so you can get the visuals designed so you can visually discuss with the public what you're trying to showcase. So I need everybody to get on Adobe Spark page. The example on the board is my introduction piece. So you're going to need to create a background photo and an introduction paragraph so the public can understand what you're trying to visually communicate with your tiny house. This can be picked up from anywhere. So when you log in, you can use your Google accounts to sign in. You can create it from home, and you can share the link digitally with anybody you want to showcase this to. All right, so on your Adobe Spark page, I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of how to build this page. You've already done the background research, so I need you guys to pull up your 5 resources that you're going to include in this from your sketchbook. So everybody needs to click on the plus button to create that special page, right? You need to find visual photography on Google Image Search to save onto your desktop so you can upload this into your Adobe Spark page. This way, you guys can start building this, and so by the next class we have a visual presentation piece that you'll be able to use with your PBL project. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, perfect.